9 a.m. Maulana Sulaimaan Ravat comes on at 6 a.m. And then his program runs till about 9 a.m. He'll teach you about current affairs and Islamiyat. He prepares your day so you know what's happening in the whole dunya.
We need to keep this issue fresh in the minds of Muslims and non-Muslims throughout the globe.
Sabahul Muslim. Sabahul Muslim.
Okay, for this week's edition of Dalgos, we are joined on the line by the master chef, Abi Dawji. Assalamu alaikum.
Waja. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sad day for us yesterday, wasn't it?
Indeed, it was a very sad day, Ma, to lose a brother that's been with us from me from the time that I came. Ejaz was here already, and it was very sad, very very sad to see him leaving. Obviously, we have good hopes for him that whatever his future endeavors are, he'll be successful in it.
Yeah, during the course of yesterday, my mind was in rewind mode quite a bit, going down memory lane. It's like that because people that you work with, they become like your family. They become like these constants in your life. You just take it for granted that every day when I walk out of the studio towards my office, I have to kind of walk past where Ejaz sits because his is the last desk before my office. And sometimes you get so into a routine of things that you don't realize that, hey, things can change. And I think even Ejaz himself didn't realize that things could change so suddenly and so quickly. This opportunity to try something different in life kind of came by. And I remember him telling me about this about 3 months ago. And you could sense he was excited, but at the same time, he was nervous. When you're doing something for so long, you're a bit nervous about trying something different. And during the course of yesterday, my mind went right back to 2009 when he came. I still remember it was Mohammed Bilal, who was that time working in the engineering department, who said to us that there's this guy, Ejaz Ahmed Khan. That's how he was known at his previous place of employment. And he's a good producer, and we need to get him. And I can still remember having an interaction with him, and then things didn't kind of materialize immediately. He went on. I think he did a stint with the Rising Sun, selling adverts, if I'm not mistaken. And then eventually he joined the Radio Islam team. And the key reason why we particularly wanted Ejaz to join the team was we knew that he had a passion for international current affairs, and that he would bring that dynamic onto the airwaves of Radio Islam. We wanted to broaden our horizons and move from being Radio Islam started as a radio station for Lenasia and surrounds. Then when satellite came in, it became a kind of national. We wanted to move onto the international platform. We wanted to cover the Muslim world in particular and the world in general. In terms of the hot topics and the key stories and the big news items on a regular basis. So he came in as a presenter with that key area of focus. And I mean, there's so much we can say about that. A big percentage of this program, the Sabahul Muslim program, was his work because of the interviews that he used to arrange over the period of 13 years. And he built our profile internationally with all of those guests and analysts and important people, and he also enabled us to establish relationships with them which continue up to today, and may Allah make that a means of thawab jariyah for him. But very quickly, when he joined the team, we only knew that about him, that he's good with getting international guests. When he joined the team, that's when we realized that he's got many talents, many unique creative talents. You'll hear on many of the promos, the world is our community. That phrase was coined by him. He just had this amazing ability to come up with catchphrases. I remember we would sit in meetings and we would brainstorm ideas and themes and what are we going to do for Ramadan and what are we going to do for Hajj. Okay, we decided this is what we're going to do after much deliberation. We need a catchphrase, and Ejaz would come up with it.
Yeah, just on the spur of the moment.
And it became such a thing that it was almost now a standard. Okay, we'll discuss what we want to talk about. How are we going to come up with the phrase? We just leave that to him. Very early on, I think it was in that same year, 2009, we decided to do these tributes. And he was a key part of the Woman of Wonder, which was one of the, when you look back at the history of Radio Islam, one of the standout features over the years. It was the first award that we won at the time. we were paying tribute to women who achieve from within the confines of the home, and then that led to men of real excellence. He was a key part there. Then on this program, and this is not an exhaustive list, right? This is just what I could remember. 13 years is a long time. There was the same what we're doing now with you. We were Where in the World is Maulana Waja and Words with Maulana Waja. It all started. This process started with Where in the World is Osama. That time the US was looking for Osama bin Laden, and Ejaz would give these kind of cryptic clues, and we would give gifts. He started doing the traffic. He started doing the weather on Sabahul Muslim, and he always had this kind of unique angle to things, and he could he could formulate that in the kind of comment. And subhanallah, I mean, he gave his all. He won a Best Producer Award, I think, around 2012, 2013, somewhere there. Mail and Guardian, top 200 young achievers. There's so many memories. I remember him going to Mangawung back in 2012, and the very unique style of reporting from the ANC's elective conference. Nasrec as well as 2017. Then Sona. I'm just, as I'm speaking, I'm just imagining this energy in him and this delight on his face as he was moving around the precincts of Parliament, doing what he does best, and that is arranging guests and getting comments from people. When it came to Ramadan, that grumpy chacha and its predecessors and its successors or mini successors, it became a standard feature. Young or old, educated or not so educated, it was that lightheartedness that everyone was looking for. The hits on the website and later on SoundCloud for those features used to go through the roof. Along the line, Ejaz also then showcased another talent of his, and that was singing. So he would do these nasheeds, but almost like in a parody form, like you heard with the one here. That used to be the signature nasheed back in the day for this program, Sabahul Muslim, and there were many others that he did. Hajj Desk, when we started back, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago on the Hajj broadcast, he was one of the key people there around the Hajj Desk. I can't even remember what we used to call it then. Every couple of years we changed the name. Election reporting, he would go to various parts of the province and give updates in his very unique way. But then there came a time, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I think it was, when Ejaz and I had a chat, and he really wanted to try his skills at presenting. It was a half an hour slot first initially between 1:30 and 2, and I think to say it was a super hit would be an understatement. And then the conversation. So he brought some very important dynamics to the Radio Islam brand. One was that whole international aspect of it with all the guests. Then the creative aspect with the parodies and grumpy chacha and the competitions and the catchphrases and slogans. And then in the recent years on air, we were discussing that, okay, we've got many monologue programs, dialogue programs. We need to move more towards conversational type programs, light-hearted programs, but with a lesson and with some, constructive purpose behind it. And I think he's excelled there, with the conversation program. Initially on his own, then with Maulana Yusuf Umar, then with Maulana Im Dokrat, and towards the end with Maulana Muhammad Bam. So he was a pioneer. He is a pioneer. Let me not use the past tense too much. In many ways, his legacy is embedded in the style of our programming. But more important than all of that, he was a wonderful, or is a wonderful colleague and friend. And we're excited for him. Like I said, just before we had our lunch with him yesterday, that we're excited for him, but we're also sad for ourselves. But we hope that we're not going to lose him altogether, and that he'll still be part of the Radio Islam airwaves, inshallah, in the years to come. So, yeah, we didn't want to say too much yesterday morning because we knew he was doing his last program, so we didn't want to in any way. We wanted that to, to kind of be unique. But now that he's done that and he's officially said, please put his mic down for now, inshallah, I think it was only appropriate, especially on this program, to pay tribute to him and to thank him for the many memories. And I'm sure the listeners feel the same, inshallah, Mawaja.
Jima, I'm sure they would definitely feel the same. Ma, you've spoken so much of what he's done. I don't think there's anything else that we can really include in there. But he just as you said, he just had this unique way of doing things, his unique way of speaking things, and even in meetings, Ma, one was the catchphrases that he was a master in doing, right? But even ideas, even shoveling ideas around and throwing ideas across the table. Even with that, he would always come up with something that was very different from what
Maybe it was
everybody
the
else
tea,
was thinking.
because he was the only one who would come to
Yeah,
our
he was
Monday
come
morning
with his-
meetings with his hot cup of steaming tea.
Yeah, he but that's a unique aspect that he used to bring around. And as Ma said, just a guy to have around. He'd always bring about some. He always had this unique way of bring some light-hearted moments into even a difficult and tense situation. That is what I think we'll remember Ejaz for so much. Hopefully, he will still come and visit us from time to time, and that friendship and that bond will still stay as strong as it was.
Yeah, and I'm reminded here by Dr. Howard that he also joined the flotilla to Palestine to report from there. Yes, so that was also one of the major milestones and one of the highlights amongst many. Like I said, it's not an exhaustive list. It was what was coming to my mind in the last 24 hours, and there's much more that we could say. But our du'as are with him, inshallah. Okay, Mawaja, what's the first word for today?
First word for today, Marana, maybe a very apt word to start off, since we've been speaking about Ejaz and the amazing things that he's done. We're starting off with the word perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect. Right. We are out of time for the tafsir, so we'll take our commercial break. And after that, inshallah, we are going to be speaking Iraq with Azhar Rubai from Iraq.
This is Sabahul Muslim.